Hey everyone, Mack here. So this track I worked on at the beginning of the summer. It's based on a painting called Wura, the Thunderbird. And a thunderbird, for those who don't know, it's like a phoenix. It's indigenous. I'm indigenous. I'm of the Muskogee tribe, and I have a lot of roots and heritage in South America and the southern parts of the U.S. And of course, you got some distant, relatives in West Africa, and because of that, I created War the Thunderbird, commemorating and honoring ancestors in the continent of Africa and also the U.S., in the Americas. And so Wura in Yoruba means gold, and there were tons and tons of gold along the shores and coast of the Americas, going all the way from the Mississippi to the Caribbean, all the way down to the Magdalena. And this all came from my artist residency in Colombia, where I created this painting. It's on OpenSea. I don't know if I'll ever list it. So this is why I created a storytelling component instead, because I want to do more than just like a solid piece. Since I'm a multidisciplinary artist, I said, why not create that as an entire art form? And now we have the blockchain where I can do that. So this is more than just a song, it's a storytelling, and it's going to be an ongoing series called Planet Sun, where I'm creating storytelling, music, and art, and it's just commemorating my ancestors and my journey at being spiritual. So check it out. I'm excited. And a little bit about me. I'm from Orange Mound, Memphis, Tennessee. That's important because Orange Mound is a historically Black community that might be gentrified, and I hope it isn't. But things are what it is in the U.S. Hopefully it changes, and I'm really grateful to be here today and share this with y'all. And I'm also two-spirit or non-binary. And yeah, that's me. Thank you. Oh, and I engineered, produced, mixed this piece, and I painted the piece, and I made the animations too.
That's amazing. That's a full artist, which is what, is exciting about Web3. It's that we're giving you the keys.
Thank you.
I think it's definitely underemphasized how multidisciplinary so many people in Web3 are. And people doing artwork, shooting videos, you talking about painting, all that stuff is just we stack it on top of each other and kind of think it's no big deal because we've mastered them, or we've kind of we've had to take it on ourselves. But I definitely think that differentiates us from other artists and other creators in general. Like musicians, the modern musicians are taking on wearing so many hats, and I think that's it definitely should be celebrated as a strength, not a weakness or anything like that. So I'm very excited. The artwork is amazing. I love the artwork. The painting itself is is beautiful. I love it. So, where do we go next, Sweetman?
If we're good to start diving in, next step's going to be metadata. And so what I would like to do is share what we've got so far and talk through it as a team, see if there's anything we're missing. I can make some tweaks if we do want to tweak something, and then we can go on to testnet deployment. If you've got that new track, yeah, let's start there, I guess, with your new track. Mack, would you mind sharing your screen? Do you have the capability to share your screen, and I'll talk you through getting us that new audio?
Yes. Give me a second.
And while you're doing that, I will pull up the metadata I've got in a shareable way.
And while we're waiting, I just want to fill in that JMack filled out a lot of the metadata already using the tool that Sweetman made available for us all. And there's my baby in the background.
Always got to have the baby ad libs. Always nice. Okay, so I actually had a meeting with Sweetman yesterday, so we talked about the metadata, and I'd like to kind of talk about it a little bit. How we can really, having your own contract really gives you you can still use this tool with your own contract. Like, we were looking on how we can bring our own metadata to our smart contract on manifolds. So there's just, Sweetman helped me realize how much we can like plug and play and kind of like, stack these things over time. Like, having your own contract is kind of like the base and the foundation, and then you can kind of like plug these things in, the metadata override, different kind of metadata, batch like upload the metadata. So it's it's kind of a new conversation we're having, but the idea is that in Web3 we can kind of like all these things come together in their own way, and it's in its own unique way, unique to you and your project. So I want people in the audience to kind of start thinking about that, thinking about how they can utilize these tools and stack these things together.
And so it looks like we've got JMack's screen on now. And so your goal, JMack, like Steph said, JMack's been working hard and got us some really verbose metadata over the past couple days. And that allowed me, as the smart contract engineer, to deploy a token to testnet. But JMack was still going into the studio, tweaking the song, making it better. And so now we want to update the existing metadata with the latest version of the WAV file. And what we're using for all of our file storage is a technology called IPFS, or the Interplanetary File System. It's highly decentralized, and with a technology called NFT.storage, we can leverage it for free, built on top of Filecoin. And so JMack, I'm going to have you open up a new tab and head over to a website called NFT.storage so that you can upload your audio for free. And for musicians that are listening, if you use things like WeTransfer to kind of send your audio, or any other, like a Drive or a Dropbox or anything that you're currently paying for on a centralized server, this service of NFT.storage you can think of as your Web3 alternative that's entirely free and more decentralized. So up at the top, there should be a login button at the very top of the page, or right there. Yeah, your create account. Goal is to just, and you should just be able to type in an email, and then I think they use Magic Link here.
Give me a second. I didn't know it was going to do all that.
Gonna have a lot of surprises during this, so these are the...
Yeah, this is raw. And I'm going to try to find that link of NFT.storage.
Please don't judge me.
Thank you, Steph.
Thank you.
It might be in your junk folder, like a promotions folder.
It's still calibrating. Please don't judge me in all my emails.
Hey, there we go.
ADHD. I'm on the spectrum, y'all, and that's my superpower.
Ain't no disability. This is my superpower. Kanye quotes.
Man, I really wish people could see us, in the Twitter space. I think this adding video is just like adding a whole different kind of element to these Twitter spaces. Audio's cool, but smiling faces are also really great.
You should be able to, JMac, on the, there's a files button up near the top, in that top, yep. Yeah, and if you're listening to this, and then you can click the upload button, and then you can upload your track, and this will pin it to IPFS. If you are listening and you feel like you're missing out and you want to see the video to see exactly what JMac's doing to get this published on ETH mainnet, I'm going to be publishing this on YouTube, and I'll release it as a tweet. So just be ready, and we'll have the video out very, very soon. It's nice that I can like get a thumbs up from y'all, or one of you guys can give me a thumbs up, and it's like, oh, okay. You get a lot more of the visual cues when you've got the video that we don't get in just a huddle or a space.
But this is very raw. And again, if anybody also wants to ask questions in the Twitter space, feel free to DM us, or we can bring you up on stage and ask us questions as this is happening, because we know there's a lot happening right now behind the scenes. So please feel free to request. So right now, JMac is uploading her file to NFT.storage.
The pressure is getting worse. The pressure is getting worse. It's just an overwhelmed artist. I'm like making sure it's the right file, because I do label all of my tracks, and sometimes in Ableton, the main track will look like the stem, so I had to like separately say stems over master track, so I wouldn't get confused, and I had to make sure, because when you go on the blockchain, y'all, it is permanent, and you want to make sure you make the right choice the first time. So always, double check your work. So I had to listen to make sure it was the right track. And now what next? I think this is it.
Yep. If you can copy that, first you should be able to click on the CID, and then it'll open up a new tab where your file's hosted. But if you can copy that link and send it to me in our shared little group on Twitter, I'll be able to add that, and then I'll take over to do the next step if my computer will handle everything I'm trying to do right now.
Just copy the CID and not the link, or copy the link that I clicked?
I just need the CID. That's all I need.
Awesome.
And if you already sent that?
Yes, I sent it in the Google Meetup.
Cool. If you can stop sharing, I will take over sharing, and we'll now come onto my screen. Okay, my entire screen. We've got this one. So JMac has just given us the final copy of the audio that we're going to put on ETH mainnet. And so now we're going to use that audio. Are you guys able to see my screen right now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome.
Oh, this is so cool, y'all. I just want y'all to know this. I want to learn coding, but I need to take my time and finish my art first.
Sometimes I want to drop everything and learn how to do Ableton, and then I realize sometimes it's better to just have a team of people so that you can focus on the art, I can focus on the code, we can all do a good job together.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so here we got it formatted, and so JMac just sent me the updated. Is it already there in our? I guess I don't see it. Maybe my Twitter's running slow. You sent it in our group chat on Twitter?
Sorry, no, she sent it right here on the detail.
On the Google Meet? Okay, getting it here. There it is. Great. Got it. Okay. Okay, so we've got version, name, title, artist. These attributes are the attributes that show up in OpenSea. And so now if we want to change these attributes, if you want to add more or remove some, we can change those. Mime type, we've still got wave, I'm assuming. Genre, I love that you made up your own genre. Key, C major, A minor. Description, duration, track number, beats per minute. License, we got rights reserved. J-Mac, you mind explaining what rights reserved means? It's the first time I've seen this, and I'm just curious of your perspective under this license, just for the musicians that are listening and are curious about licensing and rights management.
Honestly, I didn't really know what to put, so I just put rights reserved because that's like the standard. I don't even want to say Web 2 thing, because as soon as you, as an artist, produce that said piece of work, it's already copyrighted until you actually register it. So that's what I put it there for. But if there's like another way of licensing, let me know, because I honestly don't know what to put. I'm still learning myself as an independent artist. I've had to do it all, not because I wanted to, but because I had to, get out there and figure it out. So this comes from signing up with ASCAP and then having to go to CD Baby and get it distributed out of my bootstrapping money. And for those who don't know, the term bootstrapping is like out of your check. Everything that I earn, I put it right back into my art. So yeah.
So I just want to say, rights reserved, what it means in the Web 2 world, it means that the copyright holder reserves the right of its own use, meaning, you basically hold how the rights are going to be used for this track.
Steph, do you think that's okay for the track that we're doing? You think this is okay?
Yeah, I see that as okay, because you don't want to grant anyone here who holds the NFT a license to use the track. And if you do, then we would price it accordingly. But that's not what we're going to do.
Perfect. We got a location created. You got artwork. I love seeing it was nice that you had all this filled out, because then when you gave it to me, I was able to build the whole web page. And anytime I had a question, like, what should I name the domain? I was able to see that you had Planet Sun, and I was like, let me just buy the domain planetsun.xyz for $12 a year. If JMac likes it, great. If she doesn't, I'm gonna just iterate on you doing this. So you've got a lot of info in here. The only thing we're gonna change is the animation URL and the lossless audio. In OpenSea reads this animation URL as what they display for your audio or your video. And so in the case that it's a music video, this would be your video. In the case of a music NFT, this is your music NFT. And so I just updated this with the new IPFS hash that you just gave me. And I'm also gonna update the lossless audio. Lossless audio is not used on OpenSea. I don't think it's used anywhere yet, but this is something for platforms like FutureTape or Spinamp. If in the case that you did make this a video and your animation URL is a video, you can include your audio of just the audio down here. So that way in an application like a FutureTape or a Spinamp, they wouldn't be able to play your video. And so rather than them having to do some weird logic to just get the audio from your video, if you give them both of these fields, you can differentiate from your music video as well as the audio that underpins it. So we've got that updated now. So this is the only change I wanted to make. We've got the opportunity to tweak anything else. This is going to be our last time of modifying before we ship. JMac will be able to update it after the fact, but that'll be a gas paid thing. So anything, JMac, that you're seeing as we go through here that you'd want to add. One thing that's not included here is the collaborators, which is good if you want to note the different people. We could add that in, or we could just say that that's a little excessive. Thoughts from the team on anything we might want to tweak in here before we ship it?
Oh, we could add collaborators in here. I mean, y'all should add your names, because you did help me.
Cool. I will.
And when I get a music team, I could add them too.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at, music team? Hello. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are. That's all I gotta say. Having this team really made me happy, because this is something I've been manifesting for the longest. It's really hard for me to do everything myself. I absolutely don't want to do everything myself. I love working in teams with people who are on the same page and want to do dope shit.
Agreed. Teams make everything better. So we've now got our credits array. It's an array of people who we want to represent with both a name and a collaborator type. So JMac, let me just copy your name. You like the full JMac ENT to be represented as your collaborator name?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got your name, and then we've got collaborator type, and then the collaborator type. Why don't you tell me the labels you'd like for yourself? We can just do creator. We could add in each of those individual ones actually if you'd like. You were like, I'm the graphic designer, I'm the musician. I think it might be good to put all those on here so that if anyone's curious, they can always see it.
Okay, well, it's about to be dense. Creator, artist, songwriter, singer. Wouldn't that be the same? Singer, songwriter, producer, engineer. You already got graphic designer, animator, editor.
Animator.
And I guess, creative director? I don't know. It's hard for me to name these things about myself.
Creator, artist, songwriter, singer, engineer, producer, animator, editor, creative director. We've got 9 in here so far.
Would that be enough?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask this question to Steph and see kind of like what kind of fields are common. And so, like, you know, when you're searching through metadata, what are the common kind of, like, are we looking at producer? Are we looking at visual, like who did the cover art? What kind of fields are common to search up? I'm sure we're redefining in Web3 anyway, so.
Yeah, we're definitely redefining in Web3, but I think, you know, the graphic designer, you know, I'm trying to think of what works in Web2 and what would make sense here, because I think even packaging design, you know, how you're presenting the project is something that you can win an award for. So that's what I think of, like, what can you win an award for? And that's maybe what you want to make sure you credit yourself, because when nominations do come through, you want to have that credit just available for you.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I definitely think like developers gonna start coming. We're gonna see Sweetman going on stage, winning awards, and saying this is the music and the Don Dulce. It's gonna.
Hey, you stop
what
it.
Kind
what titles do we want to give to y'all?
Yeah, what kind of title would you want, Sweetman? It's like, what would you like them to say before they say your name and you hop on stage?
Yeah.
Smart contract engineer, the music NFT eng. I think I'm gonna lock in my title as music NFT eng, and for me on here, I like putting smart contract engineer. For Sagrado and Steph, I'm curious what you would prefer or even JMac, if y'all have thoughts on, as we build these decentralized teams, like this team that we've got of us 4 came about in a Twitter thread 1 week ago, and now we're all here publishing an NFT together. And I love thinking of these mathematical experiments of musician plus dev, or musician plus dev, plus artist in residence, plus manager. And so, Sagrado and Steph, what have you visualized your title being on this team to come in here on chain?
I honestly haven't thought about it. I like the idea of like manager or even kind of project manager, if you want me to put it that way. I think that makes sense for me.
Is that line okay with you, JMac?
Yeah, I like that for Steph. Project manager is a great title.
We give you both
Also,
manager and product
maybe
manager.
adding something, I don't know what the proper term is for. It's like PR. You kind of did PR too. Definitely did some PR. Public relations. Management. I'm just gonna give you a bunch of titles.
All right, Sagrado, what are we doing for you? Do these feel okay for you, Steph? Do you feel like you're adequately represented in the metadata?
Yes, I feel adequately represented.
Awesome. Now on to Sagrado.
Sheesh. I really don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
here,
hey, J-Mac, tell me your thoughts, because I brought Sagrado in knowing that he's deployed a lot of his own custom contracts, and I've talked with Sagrado a little bit, and I'm curious of your thoughts for what Sagrado has done within the process, and how you would like him to be included in this. I guess maybe even if at all. I don't know if that's an appropriate thing to say.
I feel like Sagrado did a lot when it comes to getting me to think about how to build a community, especially with price points. Because oftentimes as an artist, I'm super overwhelmed with price points because in Web3 and Web2 is two different things. It's like, oh, you should put it this price and this price. But in Web3, if you're building community and also trying to eat, it's like, how do you make something sustainable and also accessible to your community to work with you? So I don't know what that title is, but that's what the title would be. So what is a proper title for that? I don't know.
Yeah, just to give a little reference to the people in the space, we have our little group over here, and we said I suggested Web3 consultant, which I think that might be interesting. Steph said mentor, Web3 guide, all flattering titles, but I definitely think like consulting is. I think we're all kind of consulting each other when we're in these Twitter spaces and these group chats, DMs. We're all kind of like bouncing ideas off of each other, and I don't think that should be like undermined. So I wouldn't mind consultant. Mentor is pretty flattering.
Yes, and maybe community engagement.
I like that.
Also,
Yeah,
Sweetman and Stephanie, y'all should all have community engagement as well.
Yeah, I was actually talking
look at us right now.
to Sweetman yesterday, and I was like, okay, so what is my role in this team? Like, I'm trying to find the pocket into where, like I don't want to step on any toes because we all want that like creative freedom, and to make this what we imagine it being. But I'm trying to find the pocket. So when people are making teams, I actually would like to ask that question to people in the space. What kind of team do you see? Say if you're building up a team of 4, what kind of roles would you like on your team? And would you want someone? Do you take care of the visual? Do you take care of all the music, or do you kind of outsource that to someone else on the team? Do you want an engineer? Do you want a developer? What kind of roles would you have? If you can sum it up into four roles for your ideal team, I'm interested to hear about that.
And we've got 16 credits in here. 16 credits from 4 team members that are each wearing a bunch of different hats. The only other thing I think we might want to touch on is attributes. J-Mac, is there anything else you'd want to show up? Are you familiar with the attributes section and where this shows up in OpenSea, J-Mac?
Yes. And honestly, even though being in this space for a year, I'm still confused about attributes. You got any tips there? Because I have no idea what to put here. I'm like, well, 1, music, storytelling, it's a story, it's fiction. I don't know. It's talking about gold. It's talking about Thunderbirds, mythology, indigenous spirituality.
So
Go ahead.
I would kind of like suggest. So the way that I think about it is, I'd like to. You can kind of filter your collection on like OpenSea based on these attributes. So if say it's like a certain kind of like certain genre, or say like it's part of a bigger collection, say, so it's like a part of a beat tape or a project or some sort of album, I would put that in there so when people are looking through your collection on OpenSea or something, they can click on that specific, if they like the vibe of that specific project or song, they can find others that kind of complement that, and kind of like, so I kind of think of it as almost like a filter or some sort of like SEO type of situation deal.
So something that I think would be interesting to include here as an attribute is maybe the fact that this is your Genesis collection. So in the future, if you wanted to reward the original collectors of this piece, you can kind of go back and refer to it, and people that buy this in the secondary market, they're able to see that this is truly your Genesis collection.
When you say Genesis, you mean in the sense that this is my first music Genesis on the Ethereum blockchain?
Yep.
Okay. Yes. I'm down to put that. This is my first Ethereum Genesis music collection ever. It's not Wave ETH, it's ETH.
Ethy.
Regular schmegular ETH. Which is super, this is big for me. Also, take into account, Sagrado said about SEO, maybe saying this is where it says Project Planet Sun, a musical anthology, maybe adding that as an attribute. Because I'm committing to making this a project of storytelling music, a narrative. I made it narrative music. It's narrative music. Yeah, it's a thing. Narrative music. That is what this is. And other attributes, since this is music, and I made a visualizer. When I made the visualizer, where would they see it?
It's a good question. That's one of the things that you're kind of doing to future-proof your music. Right now, the metaverse there aren't smart, people have not built anything, but by having it, in the future, if someone does want to do something with your visualizer, your NFT's already ready for it, and you don't have to go and update anything. You've already put all that info on chain.
Okay, so maybe that should I add that as an attribute? Music visualizer or no?
Say that again. What do you think that attribute would look like? We need a key and a value.
Music visualizer?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or
But then the key should be format, maybe?
format, okay. You're speaking in code terms. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'm writing notes so I can know next time.
And then you said music visualizer.
Yes.
These are very much like fluffy creative. It's a place for you to be creative. So format, we've got the two additional ones. The first one's artist, genre, key, BPM, license, project, and record label. These attributes are all defined in the music metadata standard. And then you can add anything else you want on top. So we've got two additional attributes so far: collection, which is Genesis, and format, which is music visualizer. Anything else? Final calls on metadata tweaks before we start shipping this to a testnet.
Mythology?
Mythology is the key. Mythology. And then what do we want for the value to be? Thunderbird?
Thunderbird. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That is. Are there even a lot of Thunderbirds on the blockchain right now? Thinking about that, I don't know. Well, now mine about to be the first. So, hello, come on, my other natives. What's up? Come through with the mythology. We need more of our stories on the chain. More stories. Okay.
All right, we're gonna call this step complete. I just sent it in the Twitter group, but I'm gonna send this new link with these latest attributes in our little group. There's the latest link. So now we're gonna go into deploying this onto testnet. And so let's get you going on testnet, JMac. Let me give you your link. So we've got, like I said, we've got that new domain, planetsun.xyz. How does that domain feel to you? Is that okay?
Yes, when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, how did he do that so fast?
Yeah, that was how I spent my morning. Is I bought the domain. It cost $12. So I just sent you the link in a couple places. I think it's time for us to go back to you screen sharing if it's okay. And so if you can share your screen, we'll have you go to that link and we'll deploy on Mumbai testnet.
Is it? Okay.
Cool. So the first thing you're gonna put, we've got four fields here. The first one is the metadata. That is what I just generated. I'll send you a better link that you'll put in there right now. Let me get that for you. Which place is better, inside of the Google Meet or inside of our Twitter group for me to send this link to you?
Google Meets.
Cool. Sending it in Google Meets.
My Twitter is moving really slow for some reason today.
What I just sent you, you're gonna take that exactly and put that into your music metadata. That's a universal IPFS hash with no gateway associated. And so that allows anybody to render whatever gateway they use, whether it's OpenSea, NFT storage, IPFS. It's getting into technical talk, but that's your metadata in a very generic representation on IPFS.
Wow.
So, and then the other fields, so number of days for the drop. This is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's an open point of conversation. I've talked with Sagrado about having infinite ones with no end date.
Okay.
So now maybe we can talk as a team about how long do we want and how many editions do we want. Any thoughts from you to start, J-Mac?
As y'all could tell in the chat, I don't know. So far, when I meant things, it's been without a limit, because I want people to have time to like be able to go through my art and figure out what they exactly want and how they want to support. And now, looking at everything, I don't know if I should number it to get people excited, community excited, or I should keep it infinite. Because the other day I was on a Twitter space with Tribly and Jack, and Tribly is also a place to do that. So I have no idea. I'm figuring it out. As everyone, I'm still figuring out how I would like community to support me. So with that being said, it could be infinite or it could be numbered. I like to ask the team, what do y'all think? Because I don't know.
I think maybe some questions to kind of get you going towards like what you want out of this drop. So it's like, do you care at this point? Is it about getting enough funding, or getting people in and people to kind of start collecting and kind of cast like a wider net? Like, what's more important to you, getting more collectors, more people to tap into the community, or make sure that it like sells out and you secure the funding?
I would like to say a little bit of both. I would like not only to have a wider variety of collectors and input, because it's really important, as the other day we were talking, to at least get like 1,000 super fans that really support you, that you can keep doing things consistently, not just the one time. So it's like, it's nice to get a piece sold out for a top price. However, I've learned in my process, I would like something to be ongoing, especially me being an independent artist. I think having something ongoing would really greatly benefit me, as well as allowing the Web3 space to come and join finally, because they're just like, I want to support you. You haven't been putting out pieces. Like, I know, because I don't know how to put out price points, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists kind of feel like the pressure to sell out, because that's kind of like the culture that we're kind of creating, or the consumer kind of behavior that we're kind of tailoring to, is that if it's not entirely sold out, we feel like it's failed. But if we change our perspective as to like, okay, I want this to go on for 6 months, for the rest of my career, I want someone who meets me 2 years down the road to still be able to collect my Genesis piece. So, it's all just really kind of what you care about. And I think the conversation is kind of gearing towards like, I want to be able to have something that whenever someone discovers me, I can point them and direct them towards towards some sort of piece that they can collect. So, okay, very insightful. Do you have any questions, Steph?
I was just going to add my 2 cents. Like, you can create 2 forms of scarcity. One is with time, and the other one is with additions, right? And so, even if there's no limit of time, you can always create scarcity with the addition. So, think about it that way. If you do want to find those whatever number of true fans, then maybe that's the way you build scarcity, by saying, I'm going to limit it at this number of additions, and there's no limit of time. So once you're in, you're in. So yeah, think about it that way.
I like that. Either open edition and limited time, or limited time and open edition, or neither of those. I like Steph talking about the scarcity of time versus editions. Are we confusing you more, J-Mac, or are you feeling like you're getting clarity right now?
To be real, I would like to be free of worry of people supporting it or not. Because price points is like, I don't know. It's over.
So
we talked
what do we think about it? Yeah. What do we think about it as, like, what is it that you need? Like, what this project is going to fund your album, correct? And so what is the budget that you're thinking for that? And then let's figure out what the best way we can get you to that point.
Oh, the budget for this album? Ooh. I actually made one in Excel. I made several different album budgets, and matter of fact, we got time. Oh, we are literally at 3:53. Okay, let me hurry up. I just want to go into my budget, because when I was doing this, I was like, I do want people to be able to join and build a community. Because Patreon is cool. However, I've noticed a lot of people still don't really subscribe to Patreons anymore. And I don't want to just kind of leave that hanging, even though I think Patreon is still a valuable platform. However, now that I'm in Web3 too, I would like to do more than just having to stick to one site and utilize so many different things. Something that's integrated with Web3. My budget, because right now funds would help me get things going, because right now I need a new laptop. This one's old, it won't update. I need to pay like different administration fees. I need to get my accountant to file my taxes before October 1st, and that's like kind of beyond, y'all left it, but Web3 kind of made it complicated, because last year it's like, oh wow, that ENS drop really helped me as an artist get things done, finally get to go to Miami Basel and do stuff and network with people, and I don't know how to file that in my taxes by myself. It's kind of confusing. Everyone doesn't have the guap to just file taxes like that, so I really took into account and consideration. And also, as an artist, it's like I need an artist fee. And then I also would like to pay the people on this stage to help me do this using, zero splits. After, working, being in Camp Chaos, I saw that you can do that. And I was like, wait, I could do that with zero splits? Yo, that's cool. I could easily split things. So I really took that into account. So I guess the price point and additions would take that into account. I still haven't said the price.
Yeah, I know we haven't set the price, but that's why I kind of want to know what your budget is, because I truly believe that there are a lot of people here that want to support you and want to join this group. And in this very Web3 way of thinking, we want to have sustainable economies for artists. And so I know you're going to have, as part of this, you're going to have a token gated site you're going to launch, yada, yada, yada. So there's a ton of benefits that come from collecting this. So, even though someone maybe can't afford to buy, a super expensive edition, but, if they can give you $30, how many people of those do we need for us to meet that budget? You know what I mean?
Yes. Ooh. You want me to start at $30 for a number out there.
I'm just throwing a number out there,
Okay.
Your current number of 0.0222 ETH is just north of, I believe that's around 40, maybe $50. Yeah, I like the number we have right now, 0.0222, from a selfish reason. It's the number I like seeing in like Zora drops is 0.0111. 0.0222 is above that, but it's at a rate that I personally can afford. I could drop 0.0222 on a drop, and so it's still within my budget. I like that number.
Okay.
Yeah, if it means anything, I mean, yeah, that's definitely where I am imagining myself pricing additions moving forward is about 0.022. So I think that's a fair price where it's not too prohibitive and it's not too insignificant.
Okay.
And then at that point you can kind of play with edition size, and so you can kind of get an idea.
Okay, I guess that's where I guess I'm slight freaked out about.
How does this
I
sound?
was saying.
So for
I
you
was
to
saying.
go ahead, J-Mac. Go ahead, J-Mac.
I was gonna say in total to do this album, if I could finally, delegate to other people and just focus on being an artist, maybe utilize hard drive as a resource as well as other resources in the space. Hard drive is basically a label without it being a label, where they give you PR and A&R and like all these different accesses to help yourself as an artist, as an independent artist, and also take into account I gotta eat and like be able to take care of myself, and I don't want that to be the entire budget either. I would say in total my album's definitely gonna cost, for this specific one and for what I want to do, like close to like maybe $100K. To be real, that I want to do something bigger than I've ever done. And to be modest, I don't even know I want to say that after looking at Serena the other day, and they was like, how does it feel? And I'm like, it's Serena Williams. Like, it's Serena. I don't know anybody watches tennis. That price would be like maybe half of that, $50K. But I know albums really take time and work, especially if you want to put out quality over just quantity. I'm not looking for fast money. I'm looking for longevity, because I want to be able to perform more. I want to be able to be in my own space of quiet to give you concerts in the metaverse. Like, I miss playing on a real grand piano. Keyboards are cool, and being mobile all the time is dope, and I love being a nomad. However, I really do miss just sitting at a piano and playing for people without having to look over my shoulder about a bill that I can't cover. So that's why I would say, my price for that album is that much in USD, and in ETH, I have no idea how to put this out in that way.
So here's where I come in as a project manager, and I tell you, let's break that up, because that's a really big number. So in order for us to get there, let's break it up. How many drops can we do to get us to that number? How many drops can we work on to get us to that number, so that you can have this big flashy number? So let's say, can we break it up in thirds maybe? Can we just go for 30?
We love thirds.
Break it up in thirds and then hit that goal now, and then maybe hit another goal later, and move in that way.
Well, I could bring that even more down then. For immediate funds of getting things done, like a new laptop, making sure I eat, pay for taxes, administration, pay people, I would say a rough 10K. Would that be a proper pricing for albums of this year? And breaking it down at 0.0222, so I can, have, what do we say, like 150 people, 150 editions? Is that the number that's in the Twitter?
Yeah.
And that's
the number that we just got.
Yes, and that's breaking it down for the month. Is that for the month?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 150 people coming into my site. Yes, that would be dope.
I like it, and I think the people listening in we'll definitely have some interested parties here at 0.022, and that's a good base number. I mean, 150. These 150 true fans, you know, and you're gonna give them a lot of goodies along with this first drop. So I like that number.
Yes. So 150 editions. So since we know that's the cutoff, 150, y'all, this is the Genesis. Get it? It's at 0.0222. If y'all into numerology, it's a reason that I put that number for the past 2 months. No, it's September now. The entire month of August, I was waking up every day at 3 a.m. and throughout the day, after waking up at 3 a.m. with not being able to go back to sleep, I would see 222. And just today, I saw 222. Whether it's on the clock, it's the price of something, it's me working out in the gym and I see a 222 somewhere. I've seen 222. Even in my music, when I was editing, I saw 222 a lot. So 0.0222 is very intentional. And what you're going to know about me in this space, everything that I do is with intention and not just desperation. Like, I am looking at it in the long run because technology isn't going anywhere. And a lot of this wouldn't have been done if I did not have work with people or artificial intelligence. So, thank you. I'm cool with this. I'm comfortable with this now. Yeah. Okay. I'm not overwhelmed anymore. Thank y'all.
So let's go back to the drop creator on your planetsun.xyz. And okay, so it sounds like for a number of days we're going to keep that open, and so you can leave the number 0 in there, and that's going to set it as forever. And then the seller's funds recipient, we're going to need to get this. We're going to need to set up the split. So I'm wondering if we want you to do it, J-Mac, that way you have full ownership of your track, or if I should do it just to make it so that I can help pay for some of the gas. It should be less than $5 or $10 to deploy the split for us on ETH mainnet. Does that feel like a cost you're okay with doing, or would you prefer that I do it to help offset some of these deployment costs? Can't hear you right now, J-Mac. Are you muted on the Twitter space?
Oh, snap. I said, I think I could do it. Let me check my e-wallet, because my bank account been interesting.
Because you'll also have your contract deployment. So the test net's going to be fine. The mainnet deployment will cost, when gas prices are low, it costs around $10 to deploy the contract. When gas prices are high, it costs, I think, around $50 to deploy. And those you can convert it to ETH. I think on the high side is 0.02, maybe 0.03 ETH. If you have less than 0.04 ETH right now in your wallet, let me know and I will do the split. If you've got more than that, you should be totally fine to do everything.
I have less than 0.04 ETH in my wallet.
All right. Okay. I'll work on the split. You mind stop sharing your screen and I'll take over again, and then I'll drive us through 0x splits. And then for each of you three, would you mind sending me your address in the chat so that I can add us all to the same split? J-Mac, have you used 0x splits before? It sounds like you used it with Headless Chaos.
Yes, I did not set it up. However, yes, I have used it before, and I thought that was incredible. I was just like, yo, we could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was... And then it's like, as soon as it come up, you just click through and send it out, and bam. I wish the rest of the world would use that.
Yeah. Way faster.
Instead of me waiting 5 business days for a check.
Way faster.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So y'all have been sending me... So 0x splits is a hyperstructure for splits, and we're going to create a new one. Love 0x splits. If the team's listening, just know that this is just one of the examples of how we like to promote you. So I can throw myself in there, sweetman.eth. Sagrado, are you just Sagrado.eth that we're throwing in, or do we have one of your special ones?
Yeah, I actually wanted to comment on that. I threw it into the group chat here. It's actually it's the Sacred Edu Split, and just so if people don't know, this is a split that I made on 0x Splits that sends funds to Sagrado.eth, Pueblo Sagrado.eth, and Alcaraz Cuenca.eth, which is Sagrado is my musician address. Pueblo Sagrado, that's my community. So, through this work, some of the funds will be going to Pueblo Sagrado, the community, and Alcaraz Cuenca, that's my life savings. That's what I'm going to pass down to my little babies. So just an idea to how you can use a tool like 0x Splits to kind of automate your accounting. So just an idea to throw out there. Use 0x Splits. It's fire.
J-Mac, can you send me your address so I can add it in here?
Yes, I just sent it in the
Got it.
Google.
All right, J-Mac, this is always hard. What would you like your split percentages to be for yourself and then the rest of the team?
Oh man, the hot seat. Don't feel any pressure. I came in completely expecting absolutely nothing. So don't. You take what you want and what you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Yeah.
Sheesh. The pressure is getting worse. Okay.
Yeah, I know this looks a little bit like when the waiter gives you the bill and hangs around to see what you put as a tip, but please do not feel that way at all.
I guess I could do this. What are your rates?
It's my first go around.
What are your rates?
It's my first time as a Web3 consultant.
We're creating the rates right now.
We're creating the standard, I guess.
We're setting a precedent, because this is something I always ask anybody. So that's honestly where I base a lot of my budgets. I ask people, what are your full rates? Don't belittle your rates, so I can know, and that way I can make this percentages accordingly, and also make sure as an artist that I'm actually getting my projects funded too. So I want to make sure y'all eat. We all eat. It's really important. So what are your rates?
Damn, now I gotta think. I gotta think this through.
Steph, you got any input here?
I've had certain projects, depending on the level of involvement, and it's gone from 0.5%, like 0.5%, to 10%. But it really depends on the level of involvement. Obviously, I want you, J-Mac, to have as much as you want. So, sorry, my toddler's making an appearance here on camera. So just, decide. If you want to keep 90% and then figure out how to split the rest between us, it's up to you. But I would want you to have the majority, obviously. Something like 90%, 90 to 95% should be you, and then the rest us.
If that is what you think, I guess so.
Yeah, I like that. I think you should definitely be getting 90%. I don't feel comfortable taking any more. Was that 3.3? Yeah.
Wow. The numerology is wild.
How do those numbers look for everybody right now?
Hey, what was that with that extra 0.01%? Sweetman? No, I'm just completely...
That was the algorithms, I swear.
No, I'm complete. No. Let's give it a step.
But
she's the first to throw out the number, so yeah, she deserves that extra 0.01%.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing the split, I saw that too. When it's one person gets rounded up, but it's usually the first name, so it's completely random. I'm cool with this entirely. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Obviously, as I start to get more bags, let me know your rates, because that's just as anyone in being professional in Web3, it's important to respect people's rates. And if you know you don't have it, figure out trade-offs, continue to work and collaborate. Like, you see, I did all these different things, right? Now you know I do all those different things. I can help you do those different things on your project. You don't know Ableton, and I do. Got you. You want to make a visualizer? I can do that now. It took me 8.
Yeah, at that point, I think it's where we move into, like, artists start thinking of, like, how much would you expect in terms of, like, equity or in a split for any given project. After the creative has been done, then it's like, okay, well, how much do I want the artist to, like, really have or really get, and me, how do I feel about what I contributed? And it's a difficult conversation that we've always had to have as creatives, is the business. But I think it's important for people to start, like, as collaborative in nature Web3 is. We also have to get down to the nitty gritty. We need to get down to the business talk, and so I think everyone should start asking, like, okay, well, how much would I expect if I provided the artwork? What am I looking at? How much would I like? So it was a good conversation. I'm glad that it was live.
Next, the last two things. I like to set the distributor fee at 2%, and I like to make my splits immutable so that nobody can change it for the entire lifespan of Ethereum. Any pushback, or anyone want to double click on the distributor fee at 2% or going immutable? Going once?
No, I'm okay.
Going twice?
Perfecto.
Boom. J-Mac, anything to add on, or we're good?
Is there anything I'm supposed to add on?
I don't know. Less is more. There's a lot of things that you could be focused on. Let's keep moving. Okay, so here's creating the split.
Actually, just a real quick question. So, Sweetman, why changing the distribution incentive to 2% versus 1%?
I like giving incentive to whoever's doing the distribution. I think everyone likes, let me take this into an example of headless chaos. With headless chaos, you're using liquid splits, and the splits are distributed automatically. And so for the end musician like J-Mac, the money just shows up in her account ready to be withdrawn, which is nice. There's an alternative where J-Mac's on 50 different projects, and all of those projects have ETH sitting inside of them, but J-Mac doesn't have time to go and look through all of them to see where funds are, and the fee isn't high enough for anyone else to be incentivized to distribute it. Setting a higher distribution fee allows the hyperstructure to incent other people in the ecosystem to distribute your funds, so that as the artist, you can just open up 0x splits and just always see your balance there and not have to dig into your contracts to see where they're at. That being said, 2% is just like an arbitrarily bigger number than the default of 1%. And so if we want to give away less of the cut of our split, we'd obviously make it lower. If we want to incent the split to get split more often, we make it higher. And so they'll say it right here. Here's what 0x split says. With a gas fee of 50 gwei, this split will automatically get paid out when the balance reaches 0.176 ETH. And so that means that whenever our treasury reaches 0.167, that makes financial sense for some rando anon in the metaverse to come into JMax split and distribute it, because they're going to get a big enough cut to make back their gas fees and earn a tiny sliver. If we make this lower, we're not incentivizing the market as much. And so if we drop it back down to that 1%, now the amount that needs to get inside of the split is 0.35 ETH. So that could be fine. And then that's going to give us more of a cut. My default is 2%. I'm totally fine to go down to 1%. Arbitrary numbers that I play with.
Yeah, it's good to know, because I always looked at that and kind of just left it, and I never really understood what it's. So it's for a random, like it doesn't have to be anyone from the split that could do it. Okay,
Correct.
I'm gonna start searching. I'm gonna start sniping and looking for those 2%.
Correct. Yeah, so
Start distributing.
you can set it to 0. And if you set it to 0, that means the only people that are incentivized to distribute the money are the people that are on the split, because only people that are on the split are going to get the money. Anything that is non-zero, you're now starting to incentivize the random anons in the metaverse to come in and help you as well. And so, yeah, it's like incentivizing the little creepy crawlers that are going around on the internet to help you out in like a I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of manner.
The more
that's
you
Web
know. Yeah, the more you know, the more you know, the more you grow.
J-Mac, any thoughts?
Love
Are
it.
we okay with 2%, or would you prefer a different number on your split?
No, that's fine. I know tips are definitely kind of racist because the U.S. is a hot mess and don't give livable wages. However, when I do tip over. I tip about 2%. Or no, not 2%, 20. 20%. 20. Because gratuity, 20. I just be like,
I was about to say, damn, 2%.
Not 2%. 20. So this feels good to know that. I'm like, okay, 2% is cool.
Spread the love, spread the love.
All right, let's get this created. One of the nice parts about 0x splits is all the actions are super cheap. You can do pretty much anything on 0x splits on ETH mainnet for less than $10. So 0.001 is the total fee for us to deploy the split. We'll get it deployed. And one of the other things is because it's immutable, it's a deterministic address. And so before it even gets deployed, we know that this is our split contract address. And I'll send this now. I'll send it in both places. I'll send it here. So JMac, you'll take this address as the funds recipient, and I'll also send it inside of our Twitter space, or our Twitter group, so that the rest of our team has it outside of this call. And then I'll stop sharing. That should be the last thing I need to do. And now we should be able to go back to you, JMac. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, so I think J-Mac just shared in our group chat that her phone died. So I don't know if we'll be able to have her in the Twitter space.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe we can have her talk through the Google chat.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good on your phone, JMac. Don't worry about trying to turn it on. Try unmuting yourself here in the video, JMac, and let's see if the audio is okay. Yeah, deep breaths. It's all okay.
Let me see. Can you hear me, J-Mac? Yeah, go ahead and try to use the Google Chat audio, so you can like unmute your mic, and we'll hear you through the Google Chat.
Not on your phone. Oh, not on your phone, JMac. Try just unmuting yourself here in the video call, and then you don't need to use your phone.
Oh, are you sure? I get back on. Okay.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah,
Looks like you're back.
Or you see her back, Steph?
Yeah, I see her back. She's back on stage.
Oh, great. Okay, so your phone's working again, JMac?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
My
Welcome.
bad.
All right. You got your phone plugged
It's
in?
done on 4%. Yes, it's plugged in.
Okay.
It went off on 4%. I don't know what happened.
Cool. Are you able to share your screen, and then we can roll into deploying this on testnet?
Yeah, I can share my screen. So wait, what do I do now?
You're still on your planet sun.xyz, and you should have one field missing, which is your funds recipient. We'll put in the funds recipient, and then we will deploy it onto testnet.
Okay, y'all see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Awesome. It's 420. Haha.
So you'll put that address that I sent you in the seller funds recipient, the one that's 60E.
You just, so wait, the one you just sent in the chat?
Yep.
Okay. This is correct?
That is correct. And then for the price, would you mind typing in this number? It's in Way, and so the number you typed in ETH. If you can put that value in there, then we are good to send.
Oh. Whoa. I was about to mess some up.
Perfect.
Is that correct?
You're looking good. Now click Connect Wallet in the top right and connect your wallet.
Okay.
Necesito tomar más agua.
I don't know what's happening.
Is it not popping up MetaMask?
It is. We are connected. Do you see it?
I still see the Connect Wallet spinning, and I have not seen MetaMask open.
Oh, why isn't it sharing it? Okay. It says it's unresponsive. Okay, there we go. You see it now?
Seeing it now. There we go. Yeah, so the
Yeah.
testnet we're going to use is Mumbai, and so that's just telling you that it's going to add, it looks like you've never used Mumbai, so it's adding it to your wallet.
Okay.
And I'm going to take that as you don't have any Mumbai ETH, so I'll send you some. And then now it's asking you to switch to the new network that you just added on testnet.
Okay.
Cool. And it stopped sharing. Would you mind sharing the screen again?
Yes. Snap. How do I do it? Hold on. I think I need to. Bam. There we go. Okay. You see it now?
I do see it now. And it looks like you're connected, and it looks like you don't have a balance, so let me send you a little bit of Matic right now so that we can get this. Plug in your address. We'll send you one Matic next. Alright, send it off.
I was saying how empty my wallet kind of been.
The transaction is in progress, looking to be included in a block. When I
Yes.
tell you, you'll be able to click that create drop button. Should be like less than 30 seconds. Mumbai's typically pretty fast. Okay, you should have money now. So try clicking that create drop button and see if it works. There we go.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Let me hurry up before it does a weird thing where it's like, we changing that in September. Starting off the new month right and deploying a contract with the team. I'm gonna cry. Yo. Okay. Did it do the thing?
Yeah, click that
Does it
button in the
drop
top
it?
right where it says new drop here. Click on that and it should take you to your new drop. Boom.
Wow.
I love it.
And can you send that address to us in one of our chats so that I can go in and buy it and everything?
Yes.
So the link that I've got for you up top, it's got your base planetsun.xyz, and then / the chain ID, which Mumbai is 80,001, and then your brand new contract address. So the last part of that URL is your contract address that you just deployed. And so if you send that, yeah, yep, that's your new contract address for Wura, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But if you could send us that full link, I'm gonna buy it, and we'll make sure it looks good before we ship it. Or if you guys don't want to spend the time, we could just ship it on ETH mainnet. But I typically like to do a testnet deployment first, just to make sure everyone's happy with how it looks before we ship. The one thing to note is it says an edition number of 15. While we've been on this call, I already deployed a new update so that it'll be 150 editions. So we can ignore that. We can ignore that 15 for right now. When we do the ETH mainnet, it will be different. And then the public sale end is ending in the year 9,999. That's forever. So I'll set it to 0. I'll hide that after this call from the UI.
Okay.
But you should be able to go ahead and mint. If you want to try, it's the Mumbai ETH, and so as long as you've got some Mumbai Matic, you can buy it, and then we can see it on OpenSea. If you guys don't feel like buying it, I'm buying it right now, and I'll send you the OpenSea link in a sec for us to just make sure it all looks good on OpenSea.
Wow. Okay. Do I need to do anything?
You're allowed to test buy it, and actually I recommend you test buy it. So if you're on that page, go ahead and buy it. It's all fake Matic, and I've sent you the fake Matic, so you should be good to make that purchase.
Oh.
And just feel how it'll feel for your collectors that are going to be buying your NFT. How does it make you feel when you buy the NFT from yourself? What are the emotions?
I'm excited. Oh wow, okay. Wow. Wow. It's minted.
And I'm gonna send the link right in our chat for the OpenSea. So you should be able to now see the link that we've got on OpenSea that is your brand new contract. And so now let's look through that and make sure that it all looks okay before we ship. Some things I'm gonna be looking at are, how do the attributes look? Do they match what we expected them to? Does the song sound like how you expect it to, JMac, in the final cut?
I do need to play it again, don't I? It's not saying anything.
It's still loading. Does it just say like number 1 or number 2 on the screen?
Oh, you mean on OpenSea?
On OpenSea.
Y'all see my screen? Yeah, it says content not available yet.
Yeah, just gotta wait for OpenSea to index it. Takes like a minute or two.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, and so while we're waiting for those tokens to load, I'm gonna update the deploy page to be on ETH mainnet instead of on Mumbai. So, are you feeling pretty comfortable so far? Any red flags that are gonna stop us from launching on ETH mainnet, or thumbs up from you, JMac?
I won't know until the content is available. I guess I shouldn't I refresh it maybe?
Yeah, it looks like it's slowly starting to come in. Token 2's loaded for me. If you go to token 2, it looks loaded now.
Okay.
And same from you, Sagrado and Steph. If you guys are looking at the OpenSea page, do you have anything you see that would prevent us from doing a mainnet launch on ETH mainnet right now?
I don't see any music. It's just showing the GIF.
Yeah, same here. I just see the image. I don't see the music.
I see that too. That's what we check for. Checking in the metadata. Did I do something wrong on the new lossless audio and animation URL? Animation URL. How we looking? Is this a real thing?
This is why you always check.
This is why we check.
Indy, always check your work like they taught us in math class. Now we're in Web3. Check your code. Check it. Do I know much about code? No. I tried on hard hat once. Then my computer stopped updating. And it said, focus on art. Shouts out to Build Space, though. I think they're incredible for allowing people to even be able to create something and teach that information for free. And when you finish, you get a free NFT. What? That's dope. That's the only reason why I kind of know something about it. So I very much value your time and work and energy here, and it's greatly appreciated. I'm grateful for all of you, and especially you, Sweetman, for doing this. And
ooh, that's a whole different sound.
Yep.
It looks like it should work fine. So I'm just refreshing the metadata on OpenSea to see if OpenSea is not caching. Is it a drastically different size from the previous one, or are they about the same? Are they like negligibly different file sizes?
I actually shortened the song a bit, and I mixed everything.
So it should be a smaller audio size.
Yeah, it should be.
OpenSea, why aren't you showing it?
Yeah, it's actually the duration is 2:43 minutes, I think. And it's 28.8 megabytes.
That should be totally fine. That's a very small track.
Yeah.
Now I'm just refreshing OpenSea to see if they will give us the audio, because the audio showed up on the min page. So the audio is there in the animation URL. Why isn't it showing up here in OpenSea?
Oh no, I see typos.
Do you see typos?
I did a typo. It says my painting aura. I don't know why it says aura. That's wild. It should say Wura. Am I able to ever edit that, or is it too late?
This is the test net, so we can still make the change. Where are you seeing the typo?
I see it on OpenSea. It says my painting aura and
Yeah, the second line.
The second line.
My
I
painting
definitely
aura.
spell checked everything. I think Google, or what is
Probably
it?
autocorrect.
Yeah, I think it did that to me.
Yeah, what do you want to change it to?
Wura, W-U-R-A.
Ah, got it. Yeah, let me change. That's in the description. W-U-R-A. Is there any other cases of A-U-R-A? That's the only case of A-U-R-A. So we can update that, and I'll send you another IPFS hash when we do the ETH mainnet. That's a good catch. I'm still seeing no audio on OpenSea. I wonder if it's going to be a different experience on Rarible, but we care about OpenSea, so let's... OpenSea, what do I got to do to get you to show our audio? I could change it to use IPFS.io, that way it has a more dedicated gateway. I just hate to make that choice of which gateway you're going to render an IPFS hash from. Do we want to do that so that it is faster? I'm fighting right now in my head. I think I'm going to go with IPFS.io for our gateway to try to make it better. The only reason is so that we can keep moving, because I know this is getting into Friday night for everybody.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. I ain't know this was... I thought I did everything right.
You did everything right. I think this is just OpenSea not getting the value of the audio file from that IPFS hash fast enough, and so it's rendering it without it. But it does exist, and I think it's gonna work if we give it enough time. I just don't know if we want to sit around and give this the time it needs to render, or if we just want to. Well, we're gonna be changing stuff, so we're going to be changing the metadata. So far, those are small enough tweaks that I think we could just do that on ETH mainnet, but if we are changing the audio, we'll want to do another testnet. Place I'm in right now, do we want to ship another testnet with a change to the audio to see if it'll work in OpenSea? Or do we think this is just a testnet bug on OpenSea and OpenSea will do better indexing on mainnet? This feels like a call that I need to make, but curious if y'all have any thoughts on it.
I'm going to defer to you on that.
I think that is out of my wheelhouse, and I trust that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would assume that it's probably like a problem with the Mumbai, the indexing. Because I mean, yeah, I've seen that before where it's happened to me, like even on mainnet. It like broke my heart for like the first 10 minutes, or I was like, oh my god, it minted without any audio. So I think it's pretty common.
Oh, got it. Refresh now. The token looks like the audio loaded.
Yeah.
Like Sagrado said, give it 10 minutes.
Okay. Wait. No, it's not showing video.
You mind if I play it right now for everybody?
Got it too.
While we're here?
Got it too.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
going to play it here on the Twitter
it's showing up.
space. So here is Wura. Would you mind pronouncing it? Can you give it an intro real quick before I click play, J-Mac?
It is called Wura, a narrative. Wura, a narrative.
I love it. Okay, so I'm making a couple tweaks on that aura stuff. Aura, it should be updated. Are we still saying wood? Okay, I think we've gotten rid of aura now. We've gotten rid of aura. Okay, so here is your new IPFS, sending it here in the chat, IPFS : / boom. All right, and now if you can head back over to the planetsun.xyz, your create page, and you refresh, when you connect your wallet, it should prompt you to connect with ETH mainnet now instead of Mumbai, because while we were talking, I deployed and shipped a bunch of code to get us ready for mainnet. Let's go back to your Planet Sun page. On the create page, I'm sorry. planetsun.xyz / create. There we go. Yeah, refresh this page for me. There we go, wrong network. If you click that wrong network, it should switch you over manually to Ethereum. Okay.
Okay.
We got you on ETH mainnet. So now you'll fill in the same way, the fields the same way you did last time. Music metadata, that new link I sent you.
The IPFS?
Yep, that IPFS hash.
So the one in the chat, we did 0. Okay, and then
You don't need to type anything into the price. It'll automatically be set to the 0.0222. Actually, yeah, go ahead and fill it in exactly how you did. Put that number in. Sorry, I'm overcomplicating it.
this number?
The number that was higher up, the 222 with a bunch of zeros after it, higher up in the chat. Or maybe that was the right, and I'm just looking at Inception. That number, perfect.
And it's this one, the 0x60.
Coming back. I think so. I think that's right.
This one?
Yeah, that looks right to me. Let me verify all this info before we send it. The first one I'm checking out, making sure that IPFS hash that you've got in there looks right. IPFS.io / IPFS / paste that. Cool. I see our metadata. When I search for aura, I don't find aura. If I search for Wura, I do find it all over the place. So our metadata looks good for what you got there. Funds recipient, I'm going to copy that address and make sure it looks good in 0x split. So this is where the money's going to go. We want to make sure this is right. 0x splits. Open the app. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, and not Mumbai. Why aren't we on that? Appreciate the patience. Verifying.
No worries.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, and this is a very raw look. This is exactly what happens. So for posterity, people will know.
And that address, survey says, I'm actually going to send it out as a tweet just so that everyone's aware. Real quick. If anyone wants
Yeah,
to
I
send,
actually got. I have a couple of tweets ready to send out once the link is ready.
that looks good to me. So let's go back over to the create page. I think we're ready to send. Back on the planetsun.xyz. There we go. I think we're good here. Zero's gonna make us infinite. We've got our music metadata. The price looks good to me. The funds recipient looks good. I think we're good to send it. Any other thoughts from the rest of the team before we launch this out into Ethereum for the rest of time?
My body's
We're
ready.
Ready. Let's do it.
Ashe. Let's go.
La Capitana, take us away.
Hey.
Oh, she clicked the
I
button.
pressed the button.
MetaMask is popping up.
It's rolling. There's a fox that's orange. Y'all, if I ever open up MetaMask and it's purple, run. Okay.
That's really
Let me
cheap.
hurry up for that. Okay, let me hurry up for that gas go up even higher.
Yeah, that's really cheap. $8 for a contract deployment. That's great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow.
Okay, so total in the whole cost right now for the NFT creation, we've got about $3 for the split creation, about $8 for the contract creation. Compare that to your entire royalty pipeline that you might have if you hire a team on Web2 with Spotify and all the fees you might have. Even just 1 month of DistroKid. So far, we have paid less than 1 month of DistroKid to ship in a piece of music out to be consumed on Spinamp, Future Tape, anywhere in the metaverse.
Wow. Wow.
All right, go to that drop, and then can you send us the link? And I'm going to start updating your site so that the main Planet Sun is going to go there. Let's make sure it looks good. How many editions we got? Did it update to 150? Yes!
Yes.
All right, can you send
got
us? Can you send that link? And then I'm gonna deploy some updates to your Planet Sun website real quick.
And then we'll tweet it out and make sure it's pinned to the top so people can start minting it. Everyone that's hung in there since the beginning, if you want to get in there and start minting this contract, go for it.
Creator sovereignty live. I love it.
Great work, J-Mac.
You just made history.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it feel? How's it feel, J-Mac?
I'm hyped. Like, I'm hyped. I don't care what's going on outside of me.
Might have a heart
What
attack.
we're doing right now is next level. Like, if I were to talk to a regular person about this, I would just have to be like, you want to look at this recording? We should put this on glass.xyz or something. I don't know.
Let's do it. I'll talk today right now. I'm gonna let them know
I
what we did.
think this should go on glass.xyz. It should go there. Because I've been wanting to put this out for the longest. I didn't know how. And then here you come. And then this is happening in a week. I feel great. I'm excited and I'm hyped. And it's a good beginning of September.
What are we in, September 2? Second day of September. First contract on
Second day.
mainnet. You're deployed before the end of 2022. For the rest of your life, you're going to know you were doing stuff on ETH mainnet in 2022.
Incredible.
So what do we do now?
I'm updating the planetsun.xyz because I think if you go on that domain right now, it crashes on the homepage, and so I'm deploying it so that people can just go right onto that page. If for sale, there we go. It looks like it is loading. Okay, we got a building. Usually takes less than 2 minutes, so in less than 2 minutes we should be good. From the rest of the team, is there anything we should talk about in terms of like execution now? I feel like my big piece is done. We've got the contract out now, and now I would like to speak less and kind of hear from Steph and Sagrado and JMac in terms of like what your vision is for how I can be a good part of the team, or maybe how the rest of the team can execute now that the contract is live.
I mean, I think right now it's a matter of, oh, I unmuted the wrong thing again. Sorry about that. I think right now it's a matter of shilling. We have to get out there, you know, do a lot of grinding, a lot of time on Twitter Spaces. We need to start planning more Twitter Spaces for you. And then also we need to start giving people a sneak peek. I know you said you wanted to deliver some token gated content. Where is it that, you know, we're going to make this live? What type of content is going to be out there? Obviously, you have a ton of content since you're just this artistic kind of planet of beauty. So I'm excited to see what we can put out there. But yeah, let's start planning. Maybe weekly Twitter Spaces. Maybe you make, you know, an appearance on other Twitter Spaces, which ones we're going to hit and how we're going to partner with them. Because right now the goal is, you know, let's try to just grind and push those sales, those mints.
Yeah, I definitely think that the work now is just like spreading the word, telling this story, you know, like the whole thing. Well, the same way we just said we made history, now it's like talking about that history and sharing it, what we learned, you know, how the experience was, you know, all that, get those Twitter Spaces up and just kind of moving forward, just drive traffic back to planetsun.xyz, which is a fire name. I love that domain. So yeah, I think moving forward with these onboardings, I think it would be very beneficial to also share I'm excited to have like the video up so people can kind of follow with the screens and all the screen sharing. There's a lot to take in and kind of share the experience. I think is just the biggest thing moving forward, is share what we did. And yeah, I'm excited.
planetsun.xyz is live.
Amazing.
Congratulations. Is there anybody I should hold off for the first one? Or like, is there anybody we should hold that first token for? Or is it okay if I go and buy token number 1?
Set it up. Well, actually, it's not my call.
Is there anybody special I should hold off for and wait for?
I would like to. I need to send this to my people in Bandcamp. I would like to send this link to people, but I don't really know how to hold off.
I can be patient. Like I can wait till tomorrow to mint now that, because we got 150 editions, so I think I could go to sleep. But I definitely would love to buy one right now. But if there's someone special,
go.
I'll be patient.
Go.
I would say definitely having Sweetman be number 1 is like, that's honestly an honor. So I'm honored. Let him set it off.
I'm not. You don't have to wait. We waited long enough.
All right, we're buying it.
I see Sweetman shaking in his chair. He wants it.
The fact that you tagged me in this tweet and it's done in a week.
Done in a week.
You know how many people be like, "Oh, let's work," and it like never gets done.
Sweetman works fast. Like Sweetman is like about it, so it's incredible. I'm honored to be a part of this.
I'm so grateful.
And we just had our first purchase, so we got 1 token sold.
So wait, what do I do now do I just click off of this?
If you delete the word create and you just go to planetsun.xyz, you'll see the actual mint page. Yeah, you can send that to anybody and then they can come in now and mint. There we go.
Yeah. And I would say, for your project manager, please make this your link in bio for everything that you have. planetsun.xyz.
Absolutely.
And when you get more drops in your Planet Sun drop, let me know and we can expand this domain to include your next drops as well, to make this like the home for your entire album.
Yes. So I think I'm still sharing my screen with y'all. I'm just gonna take out my link for now, cause that's okay. Yeah, Linktree is cool, and this is more important. Yo, we live. We live.
We are live.
What type of music is this? Steph had mentioned it and you mentioned it.
I called it
Narrative
narrative music. I Googled, I'm like, what do I call music where I'm just writing my own fiction stories? And it was just like narrative music. I was like, narrative music?
I like it.
Because oftentimes I feel like the fun in music is taken from it when everyone just wants to be on a radio in a club. I'm like, okay, what else can music be? What happened to oral storytelling? What happened to traditions? What happened? So I'm bringing that back. And if anybody who just heard the track today, if you heard some of the things of the track where it's like I started with a call and then I had responses, and then I had some undertones. I made it a canon. For those who don't know, a canon is this musical tone where it's like you're just layering vocals and vocals over vocals over vocals and coming back until you end it. And sometimes they never end because music never ends and it's never played the same way twice live. So thank y'all. This is gonna take me a minute to process, and I'm ready to talk about this in Twitter Spaces. So let's have more Twitter Spaces, and I'm gonna definitely talk about this everywhere. And I don't even know how to make this tweet. Like, I don't even know what to tweet.
Well,
I just went like back and forth deleting little characters to meet the tweet limit. But yeah, I actually think it would be really cool to take snippets out of this video, so people can see what it was, see our faces and see what we were like, make like micro content and kind of like share that on Twitter as well. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Because it was a moment. It was a moment.
It was. It feels a little bit like magic.
Yeah. Sweetman with the magic.
All of us with the magic. This was definitely a collaborative effort. What else you guys got? Feels like the wrapping up point, so how do we want to close? J-Mac, you want to take us out? Maybe you might be having a moment right now. I don't know if you're talking.
I can hear you.
Oh, I can't. Okay, I guess you're talking. I can't hear you, but that's fine. Keep going.
you said we kept seeing 222, right? 222 was like it's September 2nd, 2022. Just I don't know how I just realized that, but yeah. I just realized that. That's incredible. So 222, it was written in